Monday, June 26th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's just gone past 9 o'clock London. So it's actually 9:12 London time. And about half an hour ago or so, I was watching the markets. Gold was trading around 12.54. The range for since last night, overnight trading in Asia on Sunday was 12.54 to, or 12.53 to 12.58. Then I was reading an article online. Then I went back to check the gold price, and gold was at 12.44, down 12. And actually, it traded in a matter of minutes. I was looking at the chart from 12.54 down to 12.36. So who would want to, unload so much gold and make the price drop? It just looks like we've been, it's another raid by probably the Bank for International Settlements. I think they managed, the market for the central banks and the bullion banks. Someone might say, oh, it was probably in the futures market. Well, but they used the futures market. Central banks used the futures market. And what better time, early on Monday, everything is fairly quiet. All the other, markets are quite steady. Yes, maybe the pound is up a little bit against the dollar, but not much. Euro unchanged. Dollar yen, very little change. Well, of course, now the Dow is up 50 points. Just really weird. I was just reading an article. Two articles. One was about the Bank of Japan and the JGB market, or Japanese government bond market, and also the Japanese euro-yen 3-month interest rate futures. How last week they almost didn't trade and the market just stayed flat. How the Japanese central bank is killing the market in Japan. I used to trade the JGB futures, and it's a fairly busy market. Not as big as, treasuries or bunds, German bunds, but we used to trade it. But for those futures or the cash government bond not to do anything in 7 days, that means the market's dead. And it's going to come to the West, because we're following the same path as the Japanese. I think if all these major central banks, when they start trying to unwind their QE, the speculators and investors, they're just going to front run massively, just like they front run, the central banks when they started QE a few years ago. After the crisis of '08, they knew central banks were going to be there. So they bought the government bonds because, they didn't care about the yield or the income. They cared about the capital appreciation. So now when the central banks really pre-announced that they're going to start unwinding, it's going to be even worse on the way down. It's a bit like in 1999 when Gordon Brown, the infamous Chancellor of the Exchequer in the UK, or finance minister, pre-announced months before that he was going to sell half the UK's gold reserve. What happened to the gold price? People sold it off because they knew, he was going to be selling, so they sold ahead of him, drove the price down, and it's going to be, I think, thousands of times worse for the whole system when central bankers announce unwinding of QE. I think they're deluded. They'll never be able to do it. And what's the end result going to be? I don't know, because in the West, we've never been in a situation where the markets are completely controlled by a central authority. We know how it works in communist countries. They basically kill the economy. They kill the price signal, they kill opportunity, they kill businesses, they kill capital, and then they collapse. How long it will take, I don't know. But yeah, this morning, precious metals raided by someone who's a really bad trader, or someone who has a lot of firepower and wants to see the price of gold down. Frustrating it is, but you can't think of gold as, you got to think of it as safety, as physical. It doesn't matter, it's frustrating watching these moves. And I've been watching it for the last 15 years because I realized right from the beginning that gold was manipulated. I remember once when I had to buy some gold for a client, and physical gold in big quantities, and I called one of the bullion banks and I said, I'd like to deal in gold. And they said sneeringly, oh, you want to buy? It's like, I said, yes. They didn't like that I was buying such a big amount. So I could tell, and then we tried to take physical delivery like a year later from that position. And they came out and said, oh, no, this is only 4x gold. Why do you want to take delivery? I said, well, because it's the client's gold. They want the physical gold. And they said, oh, no, this is 4x gold. It's just a price. And I said, well, what if I did, dollar, euro dollar 4x? If I wanted to take delivery of the euros that I bought against the dollar, wouldn't you deliver me the euro notes? And they couldn't say anything. But ended up that we closed the position and went to another bank to buy the physical gold. So these are just crooks out there, and they're still around. They were saved in 2008, and they're still being aided by the central banks, who are the most fraudulent institutions, most corrupt institutions we've had in the last 100 years. Forget about everything else, that they've been telling us in the media, all the divisions left and right. No, the spotlight needs to be put on these central banks. And that's what they're doing, now this morning here in London. It's 9 o'clock and they just come and like whack the gold price $20 down for no reason whatsoever. There's nothing moving in the markets. Silver, of course, as well was driven down to 1625. Now we're at 1650. Gold 1245, the low 1236. So they wanted to drive gold below 1250. That's certain. Gold had a pretty good move last week from a low of around 1241. 1241. That was the low last week, and I did a video about the trend line that held, and now actually the low has been below 1241 today. It was 1236. Be interesting to see what happens now, as the day progresses and the U.S. comes in, in a few hours time. But just to update you guys, gold has been raided, but keep on stacking physical gold and silver outside the system. And as Greg Manarino and also Jim Sinclair say, be your own central bank. Don't trust these crooks. So if you enjoy my video, please give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide, subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on steemit.com. That's STEEMIT.com. Talk to you later. Bye.